by Virginia Obrecht Dulworth. So she talks about part of her family, and Stanley is her brother. She mentions Stanley in here. The Christmas tree lit with bright, big, colorful lights, shiny tinsel, and blown glass ornaments was never seen before Christmas Day. Some of the ornaments on the tree were quite old, the oldest being a thin blown glass bell that belonged to my great-grandmother Francesca Bauer. The tree, represented with its glittering ornaments and tinsel, would greet my brother Stanley and me for the first time on Christmas morning. I learned later that my parents put it up and decorated the tree, and Stanley and I were in bed asleep Christmas Eve. Of course, the presents that had been hidden for us for weeks were now placed under the tree for us to open Christmas Day. We did not get many presents. We usually got one big present from our parents or grandparents and smaller gifts from other relatives like scarves, gloves, perfumes, pajamas, etc. Prior to Christmas, I watched the mailbox, eager to receive and look through the Louisville, Kentucky Sutton catalog. That Louisville store had wonderful things, and the catalog made Stanley and I hunger for them. There were sleek, fast Lionel trains, wonderful toys, and beautiful dolls. Stanley and I would mark the things we wanted the most, and we generally marked far more things than we would ever get. But in 1939, Stanley at 14 got an erector set. He wanted, and I got a large, pretty blonde-haired doll that stood 3 feet tall. It would be the last doll I would ever get, and it was from my paternal grandmother, Sophia Obrecht. Stanley and I were delighted with our treasures, and it was Stanley who suggested we build the metal erector Ferris wheel and show it to Mom and Sophia Obrecht, who was given the doll. Dad had planned to help us put it together, so Stanley and I were surprised when a man we did not know came upstairs to find us, gathered us up, and took us to the erector set away from us, from the house, and up to the club room above the garage. The garage at that time was located in the alley between 7th and Main Streets. The stranger told us that Dad would be there when he could free himself when other things he had to do at the house. The stranger, to this day I do not know who he was very helpful, as Stanley and I used screwdrivers to screw the metal girders together to form the Ferris wheel. The seats used screwdrivers were the hardest part to put together and attach to the wheel, but we finally did it. It took us close to 4 hours to get to the Ferris wheel completely put together. Then we attached the motor and were delighted to see the wheel go round and round and the little seat swings. Stanley was all smiles as he carried the Ferris wheel downstairs, across the driveway, and entered the 7th Street house living room to show his grandmother, Mom Obrecht, what we had done, but she was not there. My father and mother, however, were waiting, looking very solemn. There were tears in their eyes as they admired the work Stanley and I had put the Ferris wheel together for Mom Obrecht. Then Dad took the wheel from Stanley and had us sit down and told us the sad news. Mom Obrecht had had a heart attack after we had opened our presents and were upstairs in another part of the house. To protect my brother and me from her sudden death in the living room and the aftermath, our parents had asked a friend to keep us busy while the doctor and later the coroner and later the funeral home personnel arrived and removed the much-loved lady from the house. My brother was exceedingly fond of Mom Obrecht, and her death was very hard on him. So what should have been a Merry Christmas turned into a tragic Christmas for the family. But I will always admire my parents for having the foresight to remove us from the house and keep us busy while they had such sad things to attend to. I was to lose 2 other grandparents in following Decembers, one my mother's mother on Christmas Day. So for a long time when December rolled around, I worried that we would lose someone dear to us. That has not happened in recent years, and thank goodness I look forward to Christmas without fear these days.